And a good Tuesday, everybody. Welcome in Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Hope you're having a great start to your day. He is Big Joe Dubin. I'm Chase McCabe, Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier on the ones and twos behind the glass. Joe, what's up?
Oh, man, it is a absolutely beautiful day. I don't care if the clouds are out because we got temperatures in the 70s, maybe 80s this weekend. So I'm good, man. You know how much I loathe cold weather. So this is good.
You're not
man.
a cold weather guy.
I am not. I spend most of my day looking at pictures of Key West. So that shows you what my life consists of. How sad is that? So
no,
yeah,
I think that's a good goal to have, is getting to Key West.
but we got a good show today. That's all that matters.
We do. We got a packed show today. A lot of football going to be talked about today. The coach, Jeff Fisher, going to join us at the bottom of the hour at 12:30. Commissioner of AF1. He's up in Albany for the league meetings, and a lot of stuff going on as the season is rapidly approaching. Plus, we'll get his thoughts on some stuff in the NFL and with the Titans as well. Tim Hasselbeck for his usual visit at 1 o'clock. And then John McClain. We weren't on yesterday. So John McClain will join us at 2. So we'll hit a lot of different things as the NFL offseason is underway. The combine's in the books, and already some trades that can't officially be made until next week, I guess is what it is. But those are all being made, and it's just a lot going on.
Well, the offseason starts the day at 9:30 the night of the Super Bowl. I mean, so it just starts the offseason just runs constantly with the National Football League. But I'm excited, man, because we got in less than a week, about a week, we got free agency that's going to hit, the trades, things that are happening. And I'm excited. I think this is a really exciting time for the Tennessee Titans. And look, I'll go on the show. I'll admit I'm changing my mind on something. We talked this weekend about this. I've changed my mind, and I'm all in. Remember, I was all in on Reuben Bain, right? All in on Reuben Bain.
Yep.
But after one young man went to the combine and just exploded, and he's now the talk of everybody, I'm telling you, Chaser, I see in the late 80s, the Cowboys were terrible, right? Remember? And they took Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, and Emmitt Smith, right? 1, 2, 3. The Titans got a chance to kind of do that on April 23rd, right? And I'll let you take it from there.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's a lot of discussion on Jeremiah Love. And is Jeremiah Love the pick at 4? Do you take an explosive, game-changing running back in the top 5? And, look, I thought it was interesting. Adam Vingan yesterday had a list of all the running backs taken in the top 5, and the success rate is not great. I mean, there aren't many that you truly hit on, but the ones that you do hit on, Adrian Peterson, Saquon Barkley, LaDainian Tomlinson, pretty damn good. So if the Titans do that, they have the quarterback, then they have the running back. Maybe one of these guys on your roster is the wide receiver, or you find that, then yeah, you have the formula. Plus, what else did the Cowboys have? You're using the Cowboys as an example because they had the triplets. What else did they have?
They had they had to build the offensive line, but
they had a great defense.
Yeah, I mean, it all came together. I mean, it was tough. I mean, that first year 90, they went 7-9. They were 1-15, then 7, and then it clicked. That trade for Herschel, all those guys started paying off. But I don't know, man. You got a chance to take a good quarter. You got a quarterback. You got a running back. You got a couple decent receivers. You signed Alec Pierce. You got a pass rusher. And I mean, there's just, I don't know. I'm conflicted with this, and I love Reuben Bain. I love that pass rusher, man. But
yeah, the other thing in this was the Cowboys got Charles Haley, and I think that put the defense over the top.
Yeah,
they had that pass rusher.
Yeah,
so,
you draft playmakers. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. He exploded, and his game tape is unbelievable. And maybe Skoronski and they get out and get a center in free agency, and Latham gets better and better, and Dan Moore somehow does a 180. I don't know, man. But then you got Love, and it'd be exciting. And I'm like, God, this is great now. And you know how much at that pick, I want a guy who's going to go in and start immediately. So we'll see, man.
Yeah. I think, look, and what I think is going to happen is it's going to change 4 more times before we get to the
Right,
draft.
right.
Because there's going to be things that happen in free agency. There's going to be things that happen around the league that are going to change some of these things. But we every year you come off the combine and
Right.
a team or teams fall in love with somebody. When we talk to Jeff Fisher at 12:30, I'm going to ask him about 2008 going to the combine.
Yeah.
They fell in love with Chris Johnson.
And they were coming off a 1,000-yard rusher in Lindell White in 07.
Yeah. I mean, I think you ask, and Floyd was gone at this point, but like Floyd's talked about with Lindell White, hey, I thought we had our guy. They liked him out of USC. You spent a second-round pick on him. And I think they probably thought going into that 2008 draft that, okay, well, they'll be cool with it. And then Chris Johnson blew him away with his speed, and that's where the whole smash and dash thing was born. So,
well, remember in 07, they also took a running back in the second round in Chris Henry. I know what happened there. I get all that, but so it's not out of the context for them to take another running back. And so that just kind of leads into the question of the day. Titans fans our question of the day, would you be okay taking Jeremiah Love at 4? Because talking to some people this weekend, I mean, he might not be there at 4. He might not be there. I know the Jets today put the franchise tag on Breece Hall, so he's gone at 2. What do the Cardinals do at 3? That's the one. The Cardinals. So you're going to left. So if Jets probably don't need a running back now, Raiders are going to take Fernando Mendoza. So the Cardinals are sitting there with, do they take Jeremiah Love? Does he fall into your lap at 4? I don't know. To get a game-changing running back like that. And now the question's going to be, well, there's not an offensive line. But, I mean, you can kind of work that and rebuild it together and kind of figure this out. But I think the Titans now are in a good position to look really good going to 26. They got a lot of holes, don't get me wrong now, but I'd be absolutely on board taking Jeremiah Love at 4. And I cannot believe I'm saying this.
Well, look, I'll add some context to that. But our question of the day is brought to you by Aries Tactical. Your safety, your skill, your Aries Tactical. First-time shooter, shoot for free. Just tell them that I, Chase McCabe, that's me, sent you. Check them out at ariestactical.com, and you can weigh in via the phone or the text line at 615-737-1025, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. I think you and a lot of other people are kind of changing your tune on this because there's a really good chance that the Jets might like Ruben Bain. because of the moves that they have made in the offseason, including sending Jeremiah Johnson to the Tennessee Titans. They're going to be looking. They got the big guy in the middle in Tavondre Sweat. So now you got to get the edge rusher. Could that be Ruben Bain? That's going to be the question. You look at some of the mocks. They have Arvell Reese at edge. Going to the Jets, then David Bailey to the Cardinals, and then some still have Ruben Bain coming to the Titans at 4. But if they really, really like Bain and he's off the board, does Jeremiah Love make sense? But a lot of mock drafts have Jeremiah Love at the, somewhere in the 7, 8, 9 range. So do you try and move back and then get him?
I don't know. I'd get him at 4, be done with it. Don't sit on pins and needles and wondering what's going to happen. Just go ahead and take him and then move forward. I know. I just, man, again, I love Bain and what he brings, but I mean, a good running back, that'd be great.
Well, and my thing is just working with Floyd. I remember him saying, if there's a player you like, he's on your board and you've done your due diligence on him, then don't mess with fate. Take him. I mean, if that's your guy,
right,
then take him. So I think that's ultimately what they would have to do. We're also in lion season. So, this is where, hey, the Titans really like Bain, or hey, the Titans really like Love. And next week will be, the Titans really like Tyson, or, that's what happens. Because this is where all that stuff comes from. But look, if they ended up with Jeremiah Love at 4, I'm not going to hate it.
I just think it's funny that the most hapless sports franchise, the Cardinals, could ruin this for me by taking Jeremiah Love at 3. I would
ruin it for you by taking Bain.
Yeah, but then I got Love. I mean, then we're good. But if Bain goes 2, and then Love goes 3, then I'm just going to go home that night. I'm just going to I'm done. I don't, then you're left with I guess Bailey wouldn't be bad out of Texas
No,
Tech
he'd be
or
fine.
something, but I just the love watching him this weekend, watching some of the stuff he did at Notre Dame. He's a hard, explosive. He reminds me a lot of Saquon Barkley, but you're right. I know when you take running backs like that, I think Emmett went 2016th or 22nd or something.
Yeah, it was something like
Way
that.
down like that. So it was and the Cowboys they almost talked Jimmy Johnson out of it.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm taking Emmett Smith. And, you knew Emmett was good. You didn't know he'd be one of the best running backs of all time when that happened. But I think there's a lot of positive momentum right now for this football team. Start strong and I think you need a center, you need a wide receiver in free agency, and then you go from there.
615-737-1025. We'll continue this. We'll get your answers to this and our question of the day. But right before our show came on, 0900 texted in and said, why does everyone hate Tony Pollard? So how would that factor in if the Titans took Love at 4? We'll discuss that and much more coming up next. It's Chasing Big Joe on a Tuesday on 102.5 The Game.
All right, guys, Big Joe here again. Yeah, it's here talking in about mental health and getting you back on track and going again. The question I get a lot from guys is like, I don't know where to start. I want to get a therapy. I don't know where to start. Thankfully, I got you covered. UnityCares.com. UnityCares.com. Just go to the website, and once you're on the website, you'll see all the avenues that are there for you to get through this together. They have wonderful, caring professionals who care about you. And we say all the time, you don't have to go through this alone. UnityCares.com has everything you need right there for you to get well and get better. They have telehealth, with it's huge, right? It's private, it's secure, it's confidential. Nobody knows that you have to go to therapy. I just need you to go. For what it did for me, it absolutely changed my life, and I want the same for you. UnityCares.com. And this is also important, part of the message that we get out there. If you have a loved one that's going through a few things, you could be that person to turn their life around as well. Sit down, talk to them. And both of you go to unitycares.com and see that everything is there for you, how simple it is to go to therapy. It's affordable. It's there for you to get better. Unitycares.com is here for you. They're based right here in Middle Tennessee. And again, you don't have to go through any of this alone because they're there for you. The journey to wellness begins right there. Unitycares.com.
Chasing Big Joe, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel here on 102.5 The Game. Hey, Vanderbilt men's basketball rolls on tonight, 8 o'clock tip against Ole Miss. Pre-game show at 7:30 on 94.9 The Fan, and coverage presented by Gary Force Acura. Is this the one that it was supposed to be here, but now it's there because they had to move around with the snowstorm?
Tonight's game? I don't know.
Yeah, it's in Oxford, I think, but originally they had it was here and they had to flip-flop.
I think you were correct there, Chase McCabe.
Well, you can hear it on 94.9 The Fan starting at 7:30. So after Vandy baseball. So tune in for that. Will be a good time. We're talking about Jeremiah Love, and a lot of people have weighed in on this. And again, I think part of this discussion, Joe, is the uneasiness of taking a running back in the top 5. And I get it, because if you look, the track record of running backs in the top 5, not great in history in the National Football League, but there are some good ones. I mean, there's some Hall of Famers. LaDainian Tomlinson, I'd say that worked out pretty well. But you know, it's that uneasiness. 2438 says Jeremiah Love is a good back, but he barely had 20 carries per game at Notre Dame.
Okay, that's fine. Do you want to have 38 carries? I'm fine with that.
Caleb says you can still get that at running back and not pick Love at 4. The running back with the best combine of any running back of all time is Washington out of Arkansas.
I get that. And that's the problem. Like, well, so-and-so ran a 4.34. Has one scout told me this weekend, put the game tape on. Put the game tape on. There you go. I'm like, okay, yeah. That's it. That's it. You could jump 55 feet. I don't care, all that stuff. Put the game tape on, and Love showed up in almost every single time.
And I think I know who you're talking about too. So if I do, I trust that person.
Yeah. Just put the game tape on. That's what's at Ruben Bain. Yeah. The short arm thing and all that. I'm like, put the 4 games on in the playoffs and watch this guy go. I mean, in the biggest games, watch him go. And I just think there's a lot of options here. But, I mean, do you pass on it? Oh, man, Cam Ward and Jeremiah Love. I don't know. Sound good.
Yeah. I mean, again, I still think if I had my druthers, I would want Ruben Bain. But if they end up taking Love, I'm not going to hate it. I think he's a guy that can change the offense. We talk about getting Ward playmakers and weapons. He certainly fits that. Now, the question is, what do you do with Tony Pollard? I personally think you keep Tony Pollard. I think you have, especially that first year, you have a Pollard and Love connection, kind of like you had, you know, with Chris Johnson and Lindell White. And there's nothing wrong with having 2 running backs, especially when one's going into their rookie year. The odd man out would be Spears.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. And if Pollard doesn't want to be here, then give him call him an Uber and say, hey, thanks, buddy. We everything you've done. Thank you. Here's how we proceed going forward. And so
you'd call him a Honda Accord.
He is a new Honda Accord, man.
Yes, he is.
I don't know. I think if he don't want to be here, that's fine. If he embraces and says, hey, heck yeah, I want to be here. Let's do this together, man. That unity feels good going forward that way. And you know, we talk about it. John McClain said, Tim Hasselbeck has said this. Who is a quarterback's best friend?
Tight end?
No, the running back. The running back. Yeah, that's the one. But tight end's good. Tight end's your buddy. But your best friend is a good running back, man. And, I mean, take the pressure off of him. But, again, I'm already getting questioned about, well, the offensive line is garbage. I know this. That's why there's free agency.
But you're not going to address that at 4.
You're not. You can't. What was I told? If you address a primary need in the draft, it'll bite you every time.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, to me, there is not an offensive lineman in this draft that is worth the 4th overall pick.
No. I mean, the big boy from Miami is pretty good, but we're not doing this again. You're not 23, 24. You're not doing this again. So now you get that a good running back can overcome a average offensive line play, right? You just got to hold the block for a half a second and the guy gets past. I mean, it's not like you're holding the block for 5 seconds down the field. That doesn't happen anymore. It's the explosiveness that Love brings to the team, which I think will be fantastic. And at 4, boom, got him and go, and let's do this.
Nevada Josh says, It's not Pollard. Keep him. Trade off Spears. Pollard and Love instead of Sonic and Knuckles can be Mario and Luigi.
It's not bad. What was Lindell? Thunder and Lightning? Was that where they were? Lindell and Chris
Smash
Johnson?
and Dash.
Smash and Dash.
Yep.
Who's Thunder and Lightning?
I don't remember. Well, because remember there was Smash and Dash here, and then there was Smash and Dash in Carolina with who are those two guys?
Steven Davis.
Yeah, I can't remember. Ricky, you're listening. You know who I'm talking about. They had a two-headed monster in Carolina at the same time. And they both kind of, I think you may be right that they tried the Thunder and Lightning thing here, but I remember Smash and Dash.
Okay. That's it. It was Smash and Dash.
So, but agreed. I mean, like, get that. Get 2 running backs and add that to the repertoire for Cam Ward. I think one thing you got to do is re-sign Chigakonkwo.
Yeah. He's a great pass catcher. Can't block to save his life, but maybe they can work on that.
No, but get the blocking tight end, or hope that one of these running backs can block too. But they had a really good chemistry, but it doesn't feel like you read some of Chig's posts and everything. It kind of feels like he's moving on.
Oh, come on, Chig. Do that, buddy. Just when we needed you most, man. Come on, we got somebody left from the Vrabel era that they draft. Was he Vrabel or was he Robinson?
Okonkwo?
Yeah, was he 22?
No, he was Robinson.
23. 22 then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I think.
Got to have somebody left. Yeah. There's not many.
You guys thinking the running back duo, Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams?
That's it.
Yep.
That's it. Thank you.
That's it. Former Memphis running back.
Jonathan Stewart, yeah.
And D'Angelo, yeah. So I think that
Chig was 22.
Okay, Chig was 22. There's a lot of momentum here. You got the money in the cap. I think Borgonzi is going to. I think he's a smart guy, right? I think they got somebody in there knows what he's doing, and you address the big need now that you need a center, and now you can get a center and you get the receiver, right? You can overspend for that's fine, and then plug in Love at 4, and look, the Texans did a trade yesterday, right, with the Lions.
Yep.
So is
Montgomery.
it tit for tat, right? That defense in Houston's good. Run that ball more. And now you got to have a running game here in Nashville. So why not go ahead and get Jeremiah Love?
I wouldn't hate that. Wouldn't hate that at all.
Don't hate on it, buddy.
The franchise tag deadline is today at the end of our show at 3:00 Central Time. So far, you mentioned it earlier, Breece Hall has been tagged by the Jets. Pickens has been tagged by the Cowboys. Kyle Pitts has been tagged by the Atlanta Falcons. I believe. Is that it? I think that's it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's it. That have been tagged so far, but they got 2.5 more hours to throw the tag on somebody. Obviously, the Titans have no tag candidates. The Colts, I would pay attention to the Colts because do they tag Daniel Jones and we wouldn't like this, do they tag Alec Pierce?
Oh, no. I'm looking. I just Googled this up. Have punters ever been franchise tagged in the NFL?
I want to say yes.
The most recent punter to be franchise tagged in the NFL, Pat McAfee, 2013.
That's what I thought. I thought it was him. I'm
watching
his show right now.
Steve Weatherford in 2012 and a few other guys after that. Yeah. Can you imagine franchise tagging a punter? I would fire the entire front office. I could do this.
You would go down there and be like,
I would go inside and I would say, "Come on, Mike, we got to go. Where are we going? Not here. Let's get out of here." Whatever. What's the new place called now? Vanderbilt something. It's not St. Thomas or
because Vanderbilt's the new.
But it's got a cool name to it, like Vanderbilt.
It's Vanderbilt Health Sports Park or something like that.
It's like
to double check that.
I'll look it up here. And
double look or double check.
You do both.
Same
discount
thing.
double check.
Yeah.
He's doing 55 things back there, so I'll do that. Tennessee Titans new facility name. See what it says here. I thought it had a cool name to it. It is okay. Of course, I can't find it. How you guys doing today? Good? Mm-hmm.
We're good.
Oh gosh, I hate this.
It's okay. The Titans website's being weird for me.
It's been weird for a while. I don't see what's the new name. Come on now. All right, I'll look it up.
Yeah, we'll find it.
I'm trying to find out. It's Vanderbilt something now. All right, Titans and Vanderbilt announce a partnership, and it is
Vanderbilt Health Football Center.
there. We go.
Nice.
I like Vanderbilt Health Football Center. We got to give a little moniker for that though. If Callahan would have been here, we'd just call it daycare. But since he's gone, since he's no longer here, we're not going to call it daycare. And thank God there's no more of the daycare three-legged sack races. And
I'm going to call it the player playpen. There you go.
Playpen's a good one. What was that race?
Vrabel had the sand pit of doom. Then we had the sand pit of dreams, and now we just have a football team.
What was the field day when you put the water on your head and you tried not to spill the water and you ran? Field day was so fun.
Like the bucket races or something.
Three-legged sack race.
Yeah.
You had the egg toss. You had slapping each other on the ass with pool noodle.
The sand pit.
Yeah, that's it.
Pit of doom.
I must have missed that.
Oh, that was the brief Chase McCabe show era.
I like
or error in some people's minds.
I like that. You had one listener every day at his corporate office in Franklin. That would be me from 9 to 11 every day.
And then I hired you.
I
said, do you want to just do the show?
This is awful. I would put a fake Excel spreadsheet on my screen while listening to you through my earbuds that nobody could hear. I mean, it was the best. Every day. You still got that interview with the lead guitar player for Styx?
Yeah, it's out there.
I loved it. I was like, oh, this is so cool. God, I was the worst employee ever. Praise the Lord, no more.
Well, we're glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. That is for sure. 615-737-1025. Coming up next, the commissioner of AF1 and also longtime coach of the Tennessee Titans, Jeff Fisher, going to join us. We will talk to Coach. Coming up next is Chase and Big Joe broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios over the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Race fans, it is time to get your tickets to the Jack Links 500 weekend. That's April 25th through the 27th. Talladega Superspeedway. Go to TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Not only can you get your tickets to the whole weekend, you can have the Talladega Garage Experience as well, the most immersive garage experience in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Tuesday. Let's talk some football with the coach. Coach Jeff Fisher joins us now, the commissioner of Arena Football One, who is up at the league meetings in Albany. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. How you doing?
We're doing fantastic. It's got to be fun having league meetings because that means the season's right around the corner.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we got training camp, scheduled. It's going to be starting here, and depending on the team in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And here we go again, man. It's really fun. So it's great to have meetings. We covered everything, and you name it, we covered it from a league standpoint. And we had presentation with officiating, streaming, and we've got 4 new clubs. Actually, I say 5 if you would include the Corpus franchise that moved to Northern Kentucky. So they're going through it for the first time, and everybody's prepared, and season tickets are going well, and yeah, we're really looking forward to the start.
Well, I think I've also seen, I don't know if he's extra security for you or what, but Double J Jeff Jarrett's been roaming around with you.
Yeah, you know him. You guys know him well. Yeah, he's been hanging out, and he's been such a help, as you can imagine, from the cat standpoint. But we got some announcements ahead. We'll clue you in here over the next couple of weeks. But he's taken a significant interest in AF1 as well. So it's just what we needed, and we're looking forward to the relationship. We'll have more details to come. But he was in the meetings yesterday, and you talk about experience and with respect to promoting things. Oh my gosh. So we're kind of looking forward to that announcement as well. Our single game tickets, by the way, are going on sale on St. Patty's Day, 17th. So we had a season ticket drive, pick your sheet type of thing, about a month and a half ago, and we're way ahead of where we thought we would be, and single games are going to go on. So if anybody's interested, they can go to the Cats website or go to the F&M Bank Arena website, and they go on sale on 17th. So, but things are shaping up, and my understanding after talking to our head coach, Darren Arbett, you guys know that he's 6 or 7 games away from becoming the all-time winningest coach in the indoor game. He thinks we got a pretty good team, and I heard that from several other coaches here, so that are a little bit concerned about the Cats this year, which is cool.
I love that. Coach Jeff Fisher is with us here on the program. I wanted to get your thoughts because we started the show talking about running backs, and there's a pretty good running back out of Notre Dame that could be available with the 4th overall pick. I look at, a couple of different situations with you and the Titans. Obviously, the guy you took in 1996, the Heisman Trophy winner, and Eddie George, that worked out pretty well. And then go back to 2008, you take Chris Johnson, and that worked out pretty well as a 2,000-yard rusher. So how did you evaluate that position, and especially how much it can help a young quarterback like the Titans will have going into this season?
Well, that was obviously that was our focus back in in '96 when we took Eddie, because we drafted Steve at '95, and we wanted to build the offense around the running game, and then knowing that would help Steve's progress along the way, and we were right. And then of course with respect to CJ, I mean CJ was rare. And, it was just kind of like we just could not pass on that opportunity to get somebody like that, behind our offensive line at the time. And, that panned out very, very, very well for us. So, they're all different, and as we all know over the years, you can get a difference maker in round 2 all the way through round 7 if you do your homework. And so it's just a matter of need. And then, who's available, who's on your roster, who, can you go out and get somebody in free agency and then maybe take one a little bit later. So it's an organizational decision, but we were unanimous with both those picks, and they panned out very well for us.
We're talking to Jeff Fisher on the Chase and Big Joe show. Coach, I want to go back to the Nashville Cats for just a brief moment. Discuss the enthusiasm you're seeing in 26 compared to 25, because I'm telling you, people in Clarksville, up around that area, and people in Nashville are really excited about what you're doing. Do you feel that love?
Oh yeah, no, it is. I mean, it is. People all over Middle Tennessee are really excited. Everybody on the base, the Clarksville community. We've got a great fan base here in Nashville. So, everybody's real excited. I mean, we made the championship game last year. We look at this year, kind of as and I said this last year. And the league, it was year one for us, even though we played the year before. Became year one because we were settling in, and with the staff and with our front office and the direction, and of course at the league level settled a little bit. But with each passing year, we're just going to generate momentum and excitement, and that was the feeling yesterday. We met Sunday late afternoon and then all day yesterday, and the feeling yesterday across the board, across the league, is nothing but enthusiasm and excitement. And it's just about us. We got a great game. This game is, you guys, we've talked about it, and you guys got to see it firsthand last year, and we appreciate everything you've done for us. And, the game itself is just, it's so exciting. And, you come to a game in person, you go, wow. Well, our focus right now is spreading that word. People don't know. I mean, there's a large segment of the population in the football fan base that just doesn't know. They don't know a lot about this game. And the 50-yard game is really cool. I never thought, 2 or 3 or 4 years ago I would be saying that, but it really is an outstanding game. We got great leadership, in our officiating department, and leadership at the league level, and things are just falling into place. And to see the enthusiasm with the new ownership groups, that include Beaumont and Northern Kentucky and Michigan and Minnesota. I mean, it's just really exciting. These guys are, they're generating a lot of enthusiasm in their communities, and there's going to be a lot of good things happen with respect to what's going on in these intimate communities and these fan bases as well with respect to the players.
I'll never forget you walking over to Chase and myself before the championship game up in Clarksville, and you just said one word. You just said, look, and he looked out, and it was just sold out, a sea of people. And I think we all knew then, like, this is the spot. This is where it's going to work.
Oh yeah. There's no doubt the support that we've got there from Mayor Wes Golden and his staff and everybody, the community, and a lot of people interested. We've got investment group lined up, and it really is. It's just taken off. So we're excited about it, man. It's going to be and fortunately for us, we've got 7 home games up there this year, and we only have to travel 5 times, and so we're going to have some really competitive games there, and we'll just wait and see what happens. We're potentially looking at having a championship, the F1 championship, the F1 crown game up in Clarksville. It's probably not going to happen this year because it's just too much too soon, but it might be going back to a neutral site. Hopefully I could call it a neutral site here in Albany,
Right.
But Albany not in it, because they're just in the model franchise and great franchise. And they hosted, this weekend's meetings and things, and so just the fun stuff going on.
I love it.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
I got a question for you guys. So you guys probably watched the combine pretty close, right? I didn't get a chance, because I've been busy. But what percentage of the players that participated in the combine are going to take pay cuts when they get to the NFL?
99%, maybe.
Is that right? Okay.
I'm
just curious.
Something like that. Yeah, that's why guys are going to stay in college, because they get paid more money in college than doing the pros. Which I want to ask you this: can you fill a need through a first-round draft choice? If you got a wide receiver need, can you fill that need, or a left tackle? Can you fill it with a draft choice, or do you need to do that through free agency?
Well, you can do it through both. Clearly you do. The free agency period obviously is people are rolling right now. They're scouring what's going on, and, restricted, unrestricted, and do they fit? Is this guy better? Or, potentially, hypothetically, if you can get a guy that's got veteran experience, that can start off and then, you use the draft to go ahead and really improve the position, and then you might move that guy, to a different spot. I mean, there's all kinds of scenarios, but yeah, you can fill needs. I mean, we did it. We try to do it every year with that first pick, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the odds of missing in the first round are, I think now, because of all the information that you have, the movement from campus to campus, you get additional information from different. If you got a guy that starts out, in a program and finishes at a program, you got one group of people to interview on campus, and that would include, everybody from the equipment man to the trainer to the assistant coaches to the strength and conditioning coach. But the way these players are moving around, and I would point out, I think that was what made the decision, with the quarterback last year with Cam, that we got plenty of resources and plenty of opinions, and so the odds of making a mistake higher in the draft are not as likely, or don't add up like they did years past, where, man, we thought this and we just assumed that, and it just didn't work out.
Coach Jeff Fisher is with us. I don't even know if you have an answer to this, but was there a position that was maybe harder to address in free agency than other positions, as opposed to finding that guy in the draft and bringing him in, as a young player and developing him on your own? Is there an answer to that?
Well, I'd say this. I mean, if you got a good player, and I mean, he's a starter and he's productive, I mean, you want to keep him out of free agency.
Right.
It's important to try to do that, to try to get in a position where you can extend a contract early or get a deal done and not allow him to get to the market. And then, if that's the case and you're projecting that a year ahead, then you try to move the player. But it's an individual thing, and so much has to do with the systems as well and what you're doing. I mean, I'm not going to bring up a name, but way back, we signed a receiver that, had 110 catches, and, 85 of his catches were slants. So if you don't have a slant as a primary route in your offense, then he's just going to become a guy. So the ability levels and the talent levels and the expectations and the ask and what the player's doing has a lot to do with whether it's going to fit into your program or not.
That's a very interesting take. I got to ask you though, Coach, do you laugh when you hear the phrase legal tampering?
Yeah, I mean, I've been out for a while, and there's so much information, and there's so many ways to communicate nowadays. There's a lot of dialogue going on, and there's a lot of agents that know what they're doing, and they got relationship with people, and there's conversations that go on, and so I mean, it's hard to enforce. That goes on. I mean, it also would apply to assistant coaches and coaches. There's a lot of dialogue and a lot of communication going on, and it's frustrating to think that when you sit down to start the off season, you got your staff together, you've had some changes, you got your staff together, and everybody's fired up from day one. But you break the staff meeting, and they go down the hall and go on the phone. They're looking for the next job. So you like to try to avoid those things, and obviously we did, but. I'm hearing, nightmare stories about those type of things.
Yeah, for sure. Coach Jeff Fisher is with us. Coach, appreciate the time. We're excited about the Cat season and AF1, and I know you're gonna have more announcements coming up soon. But love these chats with you, and we'll do it again soon.
All right, appreciate you guys as always. Thank you.
Absolutely, Coach Jeff Fisher joining us, the commissioner of AF1, and also with the Nashville Cats.
Yeah. He said something that I like what he said.
Okay. We'll react to that coming up next with Chase and Big Joe on this Tuesday, 102.5 The Game.
Well, that was obviously that was our focus back in in '96 when we took Eddie, because we drafted Steve in '95, and we wanted to build the offense around the running game, and then knowing that would help Steve's progress along the way, and we were right.
That was Coach Jeff Fisher just a few minutes ago with us, and I know that got Big Joe's attention. Chasing Big Joe 102.5 The Game on this Tuesday. He said it right there, Joe. It helps the quarterback.
I actually almost stood up in my seat and fist pumped. I was like, that is why you take Love. I mean, you've got the blueprint right there. You take him, and and the line back then in '96 for the Oilers was okay. I mean, you had Hopkins and Runyon at the tackles. I mean, they were still getting into how good they were going to be, and Bruce Matthews, obviously. But those all came together. Y'all grew together, and that took pressure in '97. Man, that took so much pressure off of Steve in '98, '99, and was able to develop. So when the coach who did that tells you how good it worked out, you only hope for the best if they take Love at 4. I know Eddie went at 14. I know that. But I just think, man, the excitement this could bring is really good.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's one I can't argue with, and obviously you've made a good case for it too. So if they do it, if that's ultimately, I think what I get worried about is 4. Is 4th overall, is that too high for running back? But again, if he's your guy and you think he's the guy and you feel like he can change your franchise, then you do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you put him in there and give him 15, 18, 20 carries. And I mean, if he does what he did at Notre Dame, he can do it here. I mean, you got to have a good running back. Spears ain't getting it done. The guy from Michigan, Khalil, whatever, he's not, he's not going to do it. Obviously, he's not the guy, but now you plug Love in and just let him run. And you got Cam, you're on the same page. He can catch the ball out of the backfield, which is going to be huge.
Yep.
And then again, but and be smart during free agency, which I really think Borgonzi's going to be. You got some good money to spend. Don't blow it on all kind of things going on. So we'll see.
So it's kind of funny. Coach answered my question because I didn't want to say a specific position, but I had one in mind that I feel like receiver is tough in free agent. And
real quick, this is just came down. Connor Hughes, who writes for the Giants, said the Titans will aggressively pursue Wan'Dale Robinson when free agent begins. Not pursue, aggressively pursue Wan'Dale Robinson when free agency begins. He tweeted this yesterday. Tennessee leads NFL in cap space. Recently hired his former head coach as the new OC.
And I would be more. I like Alec Pierce, but if they go Wan'Dale Robinson, I wouldn't hate that either, because you're bringing in a guy into the offense that knows the offense.
Yep.
And so anyway, so bringing that up with Coach Fisher, I know who he's talking about. We both know the receiver he was talking about, but that's what kind of made me think of it, was that, you have so many examples across different coaching regimes with this franchise, whether it's Yancey Thigpen, Carl Pickens, Julio Jones, who was the guy, Givens from New England, like David Givens, like they've signed these free agent receivers that just it doesn't work for whatever reason or another. And, kind of thinking about it, and he said it, that I think a lot of it is you bring a guy that just doesn't work in your scheme and they can't adapt to it.
You want to feel old for a second? Wan'Dale Robinson was born on January the 5th, 2001. 2 days later, the Ravens beat the Titans in that playoff game, 24-10 to go when Ray took the ball from Eddie George. All right.
Yeah, I feel old.
Yeah, thanks for that, Joe. Appreciate it. No, I'm with you, man. You're right. He knows the offense. He knows Dable, and then if him and Cam on the same page, would you be happy with Robinson, Cam Ward, and Jeremiah Love?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, you would.
Still gotta, find me the pass rusher though. Okay, so let me ask you this, and then I know we're going to get to Tim Hasselbeck. Would you consider mortgaging some of next year's draft for this year's draft?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, maybe moving, if you could move back into the first round to get, either the running back or pass rusher that you haven't addressed or whatever, and you had to give up next year's first round pick, you'd be willing to do that.
I think so. If it's Bailey or Bain. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yep, I would do that.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it's about the now. I mean, we could have a rapture in June and we're not here anymore. I mean, so yeah, just let's do it now. Go ahead and do it. It's a win now. Plus, man, you need that. And I know they'll deny it. You need some huge momentum when you walk into that stadium next year.
Yeah. No, you do. You definitely do. Coming up next, we will talk to Tim Hasselbeck, ESPN NFL analyst. He joins the program next on 102.5 The Game. Hour number 2, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5. The Game on this Tuesday. He's Big Joe Dubin. I'm Chase McCabe, Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier behind the glass. And it is time to talk to ESPN NFL analyst Tim Hasselbeck, also head coach of Innsworth, on the line with us now. Tim, what's up?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
We're doing fantastic. It's just it's franchise tag day. It's almost free agency, and the Titans just continue to do little things here and there. Big Joe, who has been all about Ruben Bain to this point, is now on the Jeremiah Love train after the NFL Combine. What are your thoughts on Love and his fit with Cam Ward?
Well, first off, I'm never surprised when Joe's on a Love train. I think
Hang up on him, please.
it's the most predictable thing I think I've heard all year. Look, he was a great player in college. The testing numbers, are pretty absurd, and I don't know that necessarily. It doesn't feel like it was surprising. I feel like that was definitely an anticipated, performance by him at the Combine. I have not been one of these guys in draft processes that have felt like, spending super high draft picks on running backs was a good idea. And largely because I think that it is a position that you can find elsewhere. And I remember talking to Bill Polian one time at ESPN about just the process. Now his argument was, and he drafted running backs in the first round, Edgerrin James, Donald Brown, I think Joseph Adai maybe was a first round draft pick. And his thought process was, they're outside of quarterback, there is not another position that can have as much impact and influence immediately on your offense than a running back. And he's not wrong about that. I mean, you can draft a first-round running back, and he can lead your team in touches and carries, and in terms of the percentage of offense that he influences right away, that's a big deal. So, I can't say that I would be completely against it. I just think that if you're going to do something like that, you have to acknowledge, look, this is a position that you can find elsewhere. It's much harder to find Ruben Bain elsewhere. Quite frankly, you don't. So, I think that's where just the value of the position in terms of how hard it is to find guys at that spot would really weigh heavy on me.
So I wonder too if with the Titans and the trade sending T'Vondre Sweat to the Jets, they get Jeremiah Johnson coming back. Do they feel they've addressed pass rush? I don't feel like they've fully addressed pass rush because I'm still on Ruben Bain. I don't hate Jeremiah Love, but I really like Ruben Bain. So I feel like those would be complementary pieces. But do you think Johnson being reunited with Robert Saleh could be the answer they're looking for in that department?
Listen. Johnson is a really good player, really good edge player, and I do think that they most likely feel as if some pass rush need has been satisfied. At the same time, there's never been a coach, especially a defensive-minded one, that feels like they're not done adding pass rushers. I mean, the more guys that you can have that you can kind of roll into a game fresh to have production, the better. So I feel like, look, my plan would be, and I think we talked about Bain in the past. I think I had some of his games as a true freshman at Miami, maybe as a freshman and a sophomore, I forget, but he was incredible then. And, I think, maybe I did share this with you. I had a conversation with Jason Taylor about him, who was coaching him at the time. And so, I just think that, in terms of adding up, at the position, seeing what other teams have done in terms of saying like, look, yeah, we're going to add legitimate pass rushers, but then we're going to have more. It's not unusual to see teams where, every one of their starting defensive linemen were guys that were first-round draft picks at some point, either with them or with another team. I mean, I think that's how hard it is to find just physically talented guys to play those positions. So I'm not saying it takes them out of the Jeremiah Love, business, but I do think that, just kind of loading up on the defensive line is certainly a philosophy people have subscribed to.
Talking to Tim Hasselbeck on the People Show. Tim, this is the People Show. You know that, right?
I mean, I do.
Okay. Thank you for that. 2023, the Houston Texans traded with Arizona Cardinals and gave up the number 3 pick to get Will Anderson. Cardinals got 12th pick, the 33rd pick, 2024 first-round pick, on and on and on. Do we know who the Arizona took with those picks? And the reason I ask this, because it's been done before. Why not sacrifice your guy next year and a few draft choices, move up to 3, get Bain, and get Jeremiah Love? It's been done before. You're not going to miss these guys in the 2nd and 3rd round and all that stuff. I don't even know who Arizona took right there. I do know that Will Anderson's a badass. CJ Stroud's had up and downs, but not bad. But I mean, it's there, right? Would you do that?
I think if you feel like you have the quarterback, it's a philosophy that makes sense. You're right about Will Anderson. I mean, the best thing about the Texans this year was that they could just rush 4 and play coverage, and people couldn't pass the ball on them because they couldn't protect their quarterback. So, okay, I do think that people value, overvalue, certain positions in the trade and in the trade market right around the draft, where you can, I think make moves that, look, if you get it right because you're for sure about a player, then it makes sense. Because look, 3rd round draft picks aren't always guaranteed to make the team. They typically do, but they're not guaranteed to. You get into rounds, 4 through 7, not to say you can't find good players. Like Dak Prescott was 4th round pick, but the likelihood that guy is going to really change the trajectory of your franchise is low. So, I don't hate the idea. I guarantee if we went back and looked at it in terms of, the Cardinals, there's probably a player where you're like, oh yeah, no, that guy's pretty good. They're glad they have him. But there are probably some other ones that you would go, you know what, it really wasn't worth it, from Arizona's perspective.
What about Wan'Dale Robinson? Reports out there the Titans are going to aggressively pursue him in free agency. You like that?
They need receivers. And Robinson's been a good player and played through up and down quarterback play for the Giants. So I don't hate it from a standpoint of a young, talented free agent who, I think we all probably would agree would be, an upgrade to the receiver room. I kind of like the free agent market at wide receiver this year. Not everyone's the same. Some guys are a little bit longer in the tooth than others, but I think it's a pretty decent class of wide receivers that are available. And I think it's coming at a time where it's a strong wide receiver, class in the draft, which I feel like you could, again, beat the market where, you're not paying, extreme top dollar for some of these wide receivers that are, that can play like number 1 wide receivers.
Is it? Plus, he caught a ball from Tommy DeVito. That's pretty good right there, too, right?
When I said up and down quarterback play, I think everyone knew what I was talking about.
The fact that he's 5'8" does not seem to bother me at all. Should it bother anybody else?
I didn't. He's listed at 5'8", huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I don't love that. Just being completely candid, especially for especially for a young quarterback. Catch radius does matter. Look, it's why Alec. I mean, if you look at the guys that I would kind of have more at the top of the market, Pickens, who's obviously getting the tag, big catch radius, Mike Evans, Alec Pierce. I mean, there is something to the big, wide catch radius guys. It's why Kyle Pitts is getting the franchise tag, with the production we've seen from him, the up and down production we've seen from him. It does matter. It is a big man's game, and especially on the offensive side of the ball. So, I don't love that. And that would definitely be something that, I'm factoring in terms of contract, in terms of, also how we're prioritizing the free agent.
He's Tim Hasselbeck, ESPN NFL analyst. We'll have more with him coming up next here on Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game.
Well, first off, I'm never surprised when Joe's on a love train. I think
Hang up on him, please.
the most predictable thing I think I've heard. Yeah.
Continuing with Tim Hasselbeck, ESPN NFL analyst and Innsworth head coach. That's pretty good right there, Tim.
I mean, listen, just like behind the glass, ready to go. Like, just get the phone teed up. I love it.
Tim's on that Innsworth cricket phone. We got to get you a new phone,
What are you
Tim.
talking about?
You
You
sound
got me
like
now?
Optimus Prime sometimes on that cricket phone.
Well, it's
you got
better
over
now.
there.
It's good
okay,
now.
You're good now.
It's windy out, guys. That must be the Starlink, you have outside your house.
Oh man,
it is something like that. Continue with Tim Hasselbeck. Now, I had this question ready to go, and now I completely forgot what I was going to ask.
Made you wonder if you renewed your Starlink membership. Is that
it was something like that. Oh, I have it now. What is something that you think right away Brian Daboll is going to be able to teach Cam Ward that maybe he hasn't gotten, he hasn't learned to this point?
It's hard not knowing, what things were instilled in him. But I think the equity that Brian Daboll will walk in there with will be, the other quarterbacks that he's worked with and had success with. And I think being able to use examples, the way it works when you install an offense is, you watch cut-ups of, your team or someone else's team. If you haven't installed it in your offense yet, running the plays that you're running. And so I think what he's going to be able to do is he's going to be able to show him examples of Josh Allen doing things a certain way. And, and probably to an extent, Tom Brady doing things a certain way, and probably to an extent, even Jackson Dart doing things a certain way. And I think that is really powerful because, oftentimes as a quarterback, if you're doing something that's new or something you haven't done before, one of the things that is so confirming to, encourage you to trust the process of what a coach is asking you to do is seeing somebody have success doing it that way. It's one of the reasons why I think the West Coast offense has had so much success over time is that, like, when you would watch, like, hey, here's Joe Montana doing it. Here's Steve Young doing it. I mean, heck, here's Steve Berline doing it. And then, look, here's Brett Favre doing it. Here's Jeff Garcia doing it. Here's Donovan McNabb doing it. And I think when you can see it actually happen a certain way, coached the way the coach is telling you to do it, I think it's impactful and pretty powerful.
Chase and I commented, Tim, on the last part of the season, the last probably 4 to 6 games, Cam Ward looked like a maverick out there. Like, the coaching staff's not going to be here. I'm going to do this and that. Was that good for him to kind of ad-lib a few things down the stretch? You played the position. You know what would be good because, that staff's not going to return. You kind of like, I ought to see things this way. Is that good or bad?
I think because he had I think, would we agree that he had more success later than he did earlier?
Yes.
I mean, because that's how I see it. Okay, right. And so with that being the case, I think it's a bad thing because, while it was better, I think for him personally, it really wasn't leading to team success. And it wasn't really leading to efficient quarterback play. And I don't think it was really how you can have sustained success playing the position. So I don't want to say necessarily it's hey, it's awful and it's a setback, because I don't believe that to be the case. But I don't think that that lends itself to improve consistent quarterback play over time. And but I would also say, like, and I don't know Cam Ward, but every interaction that I've seen with him and heard him, kind of explain his process and how he approaches things and things like that, I think he's going to come in open and willing to work. And I think that is a posture that does lean itself towards success in terms of, learning how to play the position.
Is he the right guy for this team right now? I mean, I know he was the number one pick last year, but Dable coming in there, is he the guy you could build the franchise around?
I think he is. I thought he was that type of prospect, coming out a year ago. I think, the division has gotten harder. Houston's defense is incredible. The Colts stumbled on a quarterback. They're really good. Jacksonville, is definitely an improving team. And, I think you could make an argument that their leadership is better than it's been in a long time. And so, I think there's a couple things that could be true here. It could be that Cam Ward's the right guy and the Titans could improve. And I think you could look at the division and say, who knows? Who knows if he's going to be good enough to help them win one? And, I think that's what's really difficult about, the environment that everyone associated with the Titans kind of finds themselves in right now.
Tim, I noticed on Twitter here a few minutes ago that Jermaine Johnson tweeted at John Franklin Myers saying next Wednesday coming soon. I think his name has been mentioned, obviously reuniting with Robert Saleh. Could Franklin Myers be a good fit for this defense?
Yeah, listen, I do like when coaches bring guys that they've been with in the past, because I think that, coaches aren't looking to bring guys that they don't kind of know what they're going to get in them. It felt like Parcells was one of the first guys to kind of like have his Parcells guys that he would, make sure that he brought with him, from a leadership, from a production standpoint, all of those things. And so, look what Vrabel did. Vrabel reunited with plenty of guys that he'd been with in the past when he got to New England. And, I think you make the argument that most of them probably fulfilled a role and a need that the team needed. And so, I'm typically, I typically like those moves in large part because the coach usually only does it if they think they're going to get the best out of them. Like, I'll give you one that I don't think is going to happen. I could be wrong about this. I don't think Tyreek Hill is going to end up back in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people think that it will happen, but I think this would be an example of, I think when the coach knows what he needs to know, then I think they usually make informed decisions.
I think that's a really interesting point. So a week from today, we'll be in the legal tampering period and approaching free agency, the league year beginning at 3:00 Central Time. What do you think the number one story is going to be?
Oh, the number one story? I think there'll be a lot of buzz around some of the quarterbacks, and that doesn't mean necessarily the free agent guys. I think there's going to be a lot of movement. I think we talked about it before, but like what happens with, like, Mac Jones is not a free agent, but like what happens with Mac Jones? I think Mac Jones is going to be seen as a guy that is, maybe more priority than some of these other guys that are about to hit free agency. And so, I think that could have a pretty significant impact on the climate and the movement for the guys that we've talked about before, the Malik Willis and the Kyler Murray and guys that are available like Kirk Cousins and guys like that. So I think that is going to be a big story because I think it also kind of plays into, what's going to happen with quarterbacks, coming up here in the draft.
Tim, we have you've talked about playing with Michael Strahan, Champ Bailey.
Yeah.
You were with Fitzgerald in Arizona. I was reading this thing about his work ethic. You couldn't tell if he was a first-round pick making millions or a guy that's on the cut line because of how hard he worked. You saw that day to day. Was that amazing to watch that?
He was amazing, in regard to that. I think one of the best things about him is he was always willing to be coached the way that, the last receiver on the roster was getting coached. And so, Todd Haley was the offensive coordinator at the time, and Todd, had coached receivers and was, kind of known to be relatively abrasive and hard on receivers in general, but on players, period. And like it was good. Like if he was going to yell at Jeremy Urban or Steve Breston, then like he was not going to be, worried about, yelling at Larry Fitzgerald. And Larry, responded to it as if he was, an undrafted free agent who's trying to make the team. So I have a ton of respect for Larry. He and I are pretty good friends. We actually were on kind of the camp circuit with our high school age sons a couple of years ago. And, he's a really unique guy that is, what he accomplished as a player at his size, was really remarkable.
They don't make there's not a Larry Fitzgerald around the corner, is there? I mean, those guys are few and far between, I would think.
Well, and I think there was a lot of talk about him not being super fast, but he ran a lot better than people realized, and he was unselfish. He was, like he wanted the ball, but if he didn't get it a bunch, he wasn't going to complain about it. He did things the right way, and I think that that's carried over to his post-playing career, and quite frankly, it's why he's been as successful as he has been, since playing football.
He is Tim Hasselbeck, ESPN NFL analyst and Innsworth football coach. Tim, great stuff as always, and we'll talk to you on free agency day next week.
Sounds good. See you, fellas. Enjoy the love train.
Absolutely. That is Tim Hasselbeck, ESPN NFL analyst, joining us here on the program. I guess we'll talk to him the day before free agency next week, but I can't keep my day straight. That's
it'll already, there will already be deals that'll be out there. We'll have plenty to talk about.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Coming up next, we'll shift away from some football for a few minutes. We've had a lot of football. I want to hit on a couple of Preds things and other things. It's Chasing Big Joe, 615-737-1025. And we are presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel on 1025 The Game.
Here's Yossi skating down, giving the puck off right, Evangelista, and the shot of the score! Predators tie it up, Forsberg on the power play. It's 1-1.
SP Weber on the call yesterday. Predators, unfortunately, would fall 4-2 at Bridgestone Arena. A controversial no call on a hit on Roman Yossi, but nonetheless, they lose the game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 the game on this Tuesday. Back at it tonight in Columbus. I'll have pregame for you at 5 o'clock here on 102.5 the game as the Preds take on the Blue Jackets. And the trade deadline, Joe, coming up on Friday. During our show, what will Barry Trotz have up his sleeve, if anything, for the rest of the week? As there are a ton of rumors around the National Hockey League, including one that could be a blockbuster within the division with the St. Louis Blues if they were to trade a couple of players, Rob Thomas, one of them, and get Brady Tkachuk, which would be crazy.
Oh, wow. I think they got to win tonight. I mean, if you lose to Columbus tonight, I don't know how that sets things, and I'm not a guy who's going to scream the Chicken Little like, oh, the world's fallen. But, I mean, you've now lost 2 to the Stars, and now I know you got a point Saturday, but yesterday was tough, man, because you went toe for toe with the Red Wings.
Yep.
For a while. That team was fast. Good Lord, man.
They're a fast team.
You got to
Good
win
team.
tonight and beat Boston Thursday, and then I think you stand pat. But, I mean, you got to win tonight against Columbus, right? You got to beat that.
I would agree with that. And you're facing teams in the East that are in the same position you are in the West, that they are fighting to get a playoff spot. They're just on the outside looking in, and so these games, even though these are teams you only see twice a year, they're going to have a playoff feel to them. And Columbus is no different. So I think you got to bring your A game tonight. I would assume that they're going to go with Onanen in goal because Saros played yesterday and with the back-to-back. But we'll see. With the time difference, who knows? They might look at that differently. But we'll see what they end up deciding to do. But all eyes are on what Barry Trotz decides to do in his final trade deadline as general manager before his predecessor is found. And we'll see what happens.
Well, I mean, they're sitting there at 62 points, and God, man, if you had that, I know you can't cry over spilled milk, but so they're there. I mean, right, they're right there, like you just talked about with everything else. But then they come back from Boston Thursday, then they hit the road, right? 5 games on the road.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
So, Buffalo to start off the road trip. So you're going to be away from home for a little bit. And, some teams like being away from home because it's just you versus the world. So we'll see what happens, man. But they're right there, right? I mean, they're just so close to getting it done. So I would stand pat if they can maybe add somebody. I wouldn't throw in the white flag yet. I just wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Well, and I certainly don't think they're going to do that just yet, but we will see. Time will tell. I did just see this that I wanted to pass along, that a pop culture thing.
Uh-oh.
That Disney has announced it is going to re-release the original Star Wars into theaters February in 2027. So that'll be 50 years since Star Wars was released. It will be the original theatrical release. It will not be called A New Hope. It will not have any of the special edition stuff. It is just a remastered version of what everybody saw in 1977.
I absolutely love this. The only thing I would add is that redo the sound. So the sound.
Well, that's a part of the remaster, I think.
Good, because the sound in 2027 is a whole lot better than it was in 1977. I've been an advocate, like, bring me Jaws in the theater, The Godfather. Bring these iconic films back in the theater for a short time release and go see that. In Star Wars, I mean, the whole world was captivated by that in 1977. We'd never seen that before, and still, 50 years later, just resonates with everybody. I love that.
Well, I'm going to go see it because I don't think I've ever seen that version. I think every version I have seen has had something done to it. Because it always said A New Hope, and there's like a scene with Greedo and stuff, and I think, yeah. So
Wait, Greedo's the one that Han shot?
Yeah.
Who shot first?
I think Greedo.
Greedo's a bad shot from that close.
Yeah. Well, I think, but I don't know if that's in the original theatrical release.
I thought it was.
Well, maybe.
How the hell would I know who Greedo was? Because that when Han says, "Oh, is that so?" then shoots him at the cantina.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's got to be. I don't know where else I would have seen that.
I mean, you've how many times have you seen that movie?
30, 35, 40.
Exactly.
Right on. I mean, that's the whole. Yeah, I mean that was massive back then. So yeah, I think I don't know. I mean, that's been the question, right? Who shot first, Greedo or Han Solo?
And who shot JR?
That would be Bing Crosby's daughter. I forget her. Kathy Crosby. No, was that her name? Kathy Crosby, I think. One of JR's lady friends shot him. And that started the whole cliffhanger. Before then, there were no cliffhangers in TV. That was the original cliffhanger. And now it just every show's got a cliffhanger. And that's because of that.
And remember, The Simpsons did Who Shot Mr. Burns, which was awesome.
Yep, great episode. The JR cliffhanger, that's 79 or 78. I mean, it's been a long time now, but that's probably the iconic cliffhanger of any kind of TV show, I would think.
The Who Shot Mr. Burns Simpsons is the first Simpsons episode that I remember watching the first run.
Oh yeah.
Like it was the 6th season, so I don't know how old I was, like 9, 10, somewhere in there. But like that's the first one that I remember watching it when it aired the first time, and then obviously seeing it 100 times since.
What about one of the top cliffhangers of all time was when Jean-Luc Picard turned into a Borg.
Yep.
What the hell's that?
The Best of Both Worlds is the name of the episode.
Is that Bjorn Borg, the tennis player?
Yes. No, he became Locutus of Borg.
He became, excuse me, the what?
Locutus.
He is pretty cute for a bald man, I would say. All that. Is Borg bad? Was that bad back then? Are there bad people?
Yeah, they because they want to. I had to. I almost said the wrong word.
Oh, you better not, pal. Family show, man.
They want to
to get it out, man. Say it. Borg, Lacuti.
Yeah, they want to take over the human race.
The Borgs do.
Yeah.
All right. So why
they want to turn you into a Borg?
That's a task in itself. That's what she said. Yeah. Right. So did Picard become a Borg?
He did. He was assimilated by the Borg.
Okay. And then how'd they get him back? Turn the power off? Oh my gosh.
They rebooted him.
gave him a little 2.0, man, and he was back again. Look, here's one.
We need to update him to the next iOS. It'll be fine.
Here's one that I think a cliffhanger, which is badass. The West Wing when Bartlett got shot.
Oh yeah, that was a good one too.
Because the flashbacks, man, and I'm telling you, when he's at the airport, when he finds out that Josh's dad has passed away, I that is some of the best acting and drama in the history of television / movies at the airport. I mean, it was so good. And then Josh, is it Josh, right? The guy, the Bradley Whitford's character?
Yeah, Josh.
And then he goes, I'll go to the funeral with you. He said, no, man, you got to go to California. You got to win this election. And then he turns around and tells the chief of staff, he goes, I'm ready. Because the question was, you're not ready. And he turned around, he told John Spencer, I think it was his name, and said, I'm ready.
Leo.
And he walks down. Yeah, Leo. And he walks down the concourse. And then Josh gets on the plane and go to his dad's funeral. That is a powerful, powerful TV scene that I've watched a million times because it's that good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so when I can't remember when he got shot, or I think it was when his daughter was kidnapped, when John Goodman became president, like briefly, because he was the speaker.
Yeah, I think that was his daughter.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, I remember watching and being like, why is John Goodman on this show?
John Goodman's on every show.
I know, it was just random, but it was good. He played the part well, but
I bet you cried when Ross said Rachel when he was going to marry that girl on Friends.
I, Ross, take thee, Rachel.
Ugh.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that's an iconic cliffhanger moment, they said.
People are still mad about the no call on Yossi. Yeah, it was a very bad missed call. It was a slew foot. It should have been at least a 2-minute penalty, and that goal never would have counted for Detroit. I'm not going to sit here and blame that one call on them losing the game because I don't do that, and Andrew Burnett didn't do that either. But that was a really, really, really bad missed call.
I think the whole section stood up, right? Like,
Yeah.
If I can see that, then I don't know how they missed that.
That right there is what the NHL needs to do. If Joe Dubin says that's a bad call, then they need to make the ruling of, okay, well, if Joe says it, it's got to be true because it was the truth. I mean, you looked at me and was like, that was a terrible call. And I'm like, you don't even know what this is.
Right.
So that's right.
I mean, when I put down my Mick Ultra and I'm like, that's a bad call, then it's a bad call. So, yes.
Yeah. So they missed it, but try and get 2 points back tonight in Columbus is all you can really do.
Speaking of hapless franchise, right? Is Columbus the Arizona Cardinals of the NHL?
Probably.
I mean, who else would it be? Buffalo?
Well, ironically, it was Arizona, but now they moved to Utah.
Right? I mean, I just think you think Columbus, like, that's easy. They'll win this 7-0. So I just always think that way.
Yeah. Well, it's time to go to break because River is informing me he needs to go out. So I'm gonna take care
Tell
of that.
him to hold
break.
it.
I know, right? Chasing Big Joe on this Tuesday, 102.5 The Game.
Hi, guys. Big Joe here again. Look, we spent a lot of time on this show talking about mental health for men, and we are not going to stop at all. The question I get asked the most is like, I want to go to therapy. I don't know where to even begin to go to therapy. I don't even know what to do. I got you covered. UnityCares.com is the website. UnityCares.com. Go there. When you go to the page, you'll see everything laid out for you perfectly. All your questions will be answered. It's affordable and it works. UnityCares.com. No more excuses. You can go there and see how everything works out. Listen, they got telehealth. It's private. It's secure. It's confidential. I don't need to know what you talk about. I just need you to go. UnityCares.com is changing lives every single day. And listen, guys, if you're battling something, you don't have to go through this alone. It's one of the strongest messages you'll ever hear. You don't have to go through this alone. Just simply go to UnityCares.com. And also important part of this, if you were a loved one and you know that your loved one is going through a lot of things, they're acting differently, sit down, talk to them. And again, together, go to UnityCares.com, tell them that you care about them and you want them to get help. And there are people, caring professionals right here in Middle Tennessee, whose only goal is to get you better and living the life that you deserve. UnityCares.com. Everything you need to go is right there. UnityCares.com.
Hey, Right Time HVAC and Cromwell Media are teaming up to bring comfort back to your home. Is your heating system struggling or completely out of commission following the winter storms, or maybe you want to get ready for the summer? Nominate yourself for the Right Time Home Rescue and tell us your story. Enter today at theGameNashville.com/HVAC, and you could win with a new HVAC system installed by Right Time HVAC. Right Time HVAC is locally owned and operated. There's never a wrong time to call Right Time. Check that out at theGameNashville.com.
Chase, one of your Braves is facing an entire 162 game suspension.
Yeah, I don't get this. Profar, he missed half the season last year because of a banned substance. So you would think, okay, you're past that, and then now he's gotten popped again. I think I saw the PA has said they were going to dispute it. We'll see, but that would be a huge hit for the Braves if they don't have him for the whole season.
He will forfeit, if this goes through, the entirety of his $15 million salary, being eligible for the postseason. Profar will be ineligible for the upcoming World Baseball Classic, which Nick Frazier cannot wait to start. He's going to represent the Netherlands. Okay. They get baseball in Netherlands, I guess, huh?
I guess so.
Xavier Bogaerts plays for that team as well.
And the Braves have already lost 2 pitchers in spring training.
It's not. It's
Spencer Schwellenbach and then Hurston Waldrep.
Yeah, it's not good right now.
Okay.
Not good.
He got last year busted for, I'm not even going to read this on the air because I might get fired. A hormone typic. Okay.
Oh yeah. That I know what you're talking about.
Can I say this? I mean, it's in the ESPN doc. A hormone typically made during pregnancy that can encourage testosterone production.
Yeah.
So he got popped for that.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yep. So who knows? I don't get it. Like, you get in trouble once, why do it again?
Yeah. I mean, they're going to find out what's going on. He had a nice little career for the Padres. He get popped out there for the Padres at all?
I don't think so.
Okay. All
It
right,
is
well.
a bit interesting. He does come from the Padres, where Fernando Tatis Jr. was also suspended for PEDs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
something might be a little telling there.
What are we doing out there in San Diego?
What are you trying to say there, Matlock?
I'm just saying that he probably is using something similar to what Tatis did, because Tatis used a air quotes over-the-counter drug to basically cure his ringworm that he had. So,
okay, all right. Well, by the way, when does your WBC start?
Starts tomorrow.
Excited.
Well, we got an exhibition game coming on in a few minutes.
Taking on Tony Vitello and the Giants.
Yep.
Oh, really?
So if there's a member of the Giants that's on Team USA, who do they play for?
Team USA.
Okay.
This happened with Derek Jeter and the Yankees in spring training back in 2002. Don't quote me on the year, but that did happen.
Oh, man. So if I'm Vitello, I hit him.
It's a pitcher, though.
Hit him.
Logan Webb doesn't hit.
All right. Well, so pitchers aren't going to be up there? There's
Yeah.
none of that. Okay.
Maybe in batting practice.
By the way, why has it always been that pitchers are very athletic, but when they go to bat, they look like us? They look terrible, like very unathletic.
I don't know.
Depends on the pitcher.
I mean, Greg Maddux was probably the best baseball hitter of all time. He looked terrible swinging the bat.
Very true. I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, they no longer have pitchers hitting in baseball anymore. It's all a universal DH at this point.
I miss when pitchers were hitting. That's the one thing. Like, I liked it when the pitchers hit.
Yeah, that was, man. So there's no more. It's all DH. Even the National League's at DH.
Mhm.
Yep.
God, I missed that. I didn't see.
Where have you been?
I didn't see. When did that start? I missed that memo.
Probably about 5 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, during COVID.
I mean, watching may rest in peace, but Rick Mahler, when he pitched for the Braves, looked like me. I mean, to see him up there pitching, he's out of shape, but he was great, man, as a Brave. That's I default to all those Brave pitchers in the 80s. They were just Paul Ossenmacher, Gene Garber. I mean, there were some really Ed Olwine. I mean, there were some bad pitchers the Braves had through like 84 to 90 were just terrible.
Well, if you want to satisfy your modern day fancy, go and watch Pat McAfee from yesterday. He did it with Clayton Kershaw, a little BP action.
I ain't watching that.
Well, I mean, you said you like to see pitchers hit, so there you go.
Yeah, he's retired though. I want to see him in the game. I want to see him in the
No, he's
midst of
on
battle.
he's on the WBC team for Team USA.
I thought he retired.
He did from Major League Baseball, but it's his last swan song.
Oh, I don't want to see that.
That's redundant.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Good one, Chaser.
Thanks, Nazi. Please appreciate it.
Hey, easy, pal. Wow, it's grammar Nazi to you, buddy. Hey, who's playing tomorrow? USA go tomorrow?
No, I believe they play Friday against Brazil, and that's at 7 p.m.
Well, your eyes got all. Does Brazil got somebody good on that team?
I don't think so. No, I have to go double check that roster, but Team Israel's pretty decent. They got Kevin Youkilis as the manager.
Okay.
I believe.
Youkilis.
Let's see. Italy, I think, may have South Freelich again. Mike Piazza is the manager of that team. Then you have Mark DeRosa that's coming back with USA. So
all I care is that we kick Canada's ass.
It's very doable.
All right. Do they have anybody on their team?
Freddie Freeman.
All right. Worried about him. All right.
I just want to talk more about Dr. Crane being bad luck because that made me laugh.
Right. He's going to find out these Padres. What the hell's going on out there in San Diego?
There's a lot more that I've found out than y'all think I know. Just remember that.
I did a deep dive on Andy Griffin and Griffith. What's his name? Griffith, right? It's
Griffith.
Matlock. And like everybody hated him, like on the set. Like he was grumpy and mean and nobody wanted to be around him.
Well, kind of like you.
Yeah, right. I mean, he got the job done. He got the job done. And the best thing about it, he got the job done in less than an hour.
He sure did. Coming up next, we talk to John McClain. Speaking of getting the job done, he will join us next here on Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Hour number 3, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Tuesday. He's Big Joe Dubin. I'm Chase McCabe. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier, behind the glass as well. Coming up Thursday, we're going to be at Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel, and they have started a happy hour Monday through Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. You can go in there and get some great specials. Also a great spot for any event at Bridgestone Arena, whether it be a Preds game or a concert. Ascend or the Ryman Auditorium. Just stop in Bar Lines, one of our favorite places in the Omni Nashville Hotel, because there are so many awesome places to go inside that building. Go check out the happy hour at Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel. We say hello now to John McClain down in Houston. John, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing great. I've been watching I love watching the combine on the NFL Network, even after it's over. And I watch it over and over and over to watch the players, hear everything being said about them. It always blows me away. There was an interview earlier at the start of the combine, asked multiple NFL coaches if they moved players up and down based on the combine. Every one of them said no. They talk about they do that off tape and other, evaluations. And yet you see the media people doing it like crazy every single year, but the teams swear they don't. And but I love watching it. Once the NFL Network came in and took it over and started televising it, that took it to a whole new level, and I can't get enough of it.
Do you think, I mean, we've talked about this before, but I just feel like, I know Indy loves having it and it's a good central spot and, you know, everything being right there together downtown, but I feel like this is another opportunity for the NFL to make more money and move it around.
Well, they're not doing it for the fans. They do it for the players. And I don't think that would be a benefit. It benefits the players in the league. And if you ask anybody, they'd want to stay right there. Because number one, it's centrally located. Number two, you can walk everywhere. If it's snowing, you can walk on all the walkways and never have to go outside. You have your hotel right there, all the media hotels. And the only thing they have to get on a van or a bus for is to go to the hospital for their physicals. And everybody loves it there. And there's plenty of places like Jerry Jones wants it out at Frisco, where his facility is. Well, of course, he wants it there because he owns half the places around it. And who would benefit financially? Jerry Jones. And plus, Frisco is way out. You can't walk anywhere. And L.A. wants it, and they want it for Stan Kroenke wants to bring it in there and use the building for the NFL Network across the street from the stadium. Well, that'd be terribly inconvenience for people coming from the East Coast. So it always comes down to money. If Jerry Jones can put money in the owner's pockets that is not being put in by Indy, or if Stan Kroenke can do it, they'll do it. There used to be regional combines. People got tired of going to like Seattle or Tampa. That's how they came up with Indy in '87. And I was there for the first one, and you didn't get hardly any media at any regional combine, and you didn't get much at all. I can remember 5, 6, 7, 8 writers. I was hanging out in the lobby of the Crown Plaza and grabbing any player we came out, asking who he was, where he's from, and usually doing interviews waiting for the draft. And then we saw it go to a whole different level where everybody started doing stories every day, and you had a miniature Radio Row. All the TVs came, and it's exciting. It is a great event for people to go to.
John McClain is with us. So the Texans get David Montgomery from Detroit, send a couple of draft picks, and Juice Scruggs the other way. What do you think about that move for Houston?
Well, Juice Scruggs was going to make this team. He's been a big disappointment. Second-round pick. Another example of general manager Nick Casario's incompetency in building an offensive line. And he traded Titus Howard, number 1 pick in 19, who was a regular starter. Last year he played right tackle and left guard for a 5th-round pick, and they already needed linemen. And for a team that went to the second round of the playoffs and the line was better in pass protection, but they couldn't run block worth a damn. David Montgomery has averaged 11 touchdowns a season rushing. He had 33 the last 3 years, and then the Texans had 34. That's an example of how incompetent they are at running the football, whether it's in the middle of the field or down inside the 5-yard line. So it's just like Joe Mixon 2 years ago. I thought, well, he's 28 years old. He's going to be 29. Montgomery's going to be 29. But after watching what Mixon did, and Nick Caserio stole the Bengals blind, they were going to cut Mixon, not sure why. He just scored 12 touchdowns and had averaged 12 touchdowns in 3 previous seasons. So instead of him being a free agent and the Texans having to bid on him as a vested veteran, he said, well, we'll give you 7. So the Bengals, oh, that's better than nothing. They took the 7. Mixon was their best offensive player, and he gave them life in the running game, receiving game. If he hadn't had 2 illegal hip drop tackles, which cost him 3.5 games and ultimately surgery, he might have rushed for 1,500 yards and had another 3 or 4 as a receiver. So they're hoping David Montgomery can do this. I personally wanted them to get an offensive tackle in the first round. This is before the trades, or a guard, and with the first pick in the second round, which belonged to Washington in the Laramie Tunsil trade, get a running back like Jadarius Price from Notre Dame or Washington from Arkansas, and then get another offensive lineman in the second round. But as it is, they'll have Montgomery, Woody Marks. Last year, Montgomery will be here probably a max of 2 years. And if he could do here what he did there, there's no shame getting beaten out by Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs was a great breakaway back, a number 1 pick, so they had a nice twosome going there. So the Texans are happy with it. So they gave up a 4-7 and Juice Scruggs, and I keep seeing these national people talking about how they got fleeced, and I'm thinking, have you watched Juice Scruggs? Of course you haven't, because he hadn't played. He started 1 game last year. And then I think it was Albert Breer took a line out of his pre-draft evaluation, and it was a great sentence. And a guy here goes, well, if he could still do that, he never would have been traded. So anyway, it's just like the Mixon trade. They're desperate for a running game. And I'll tell you this while we're talking about running backs. I think the Titans, I don't care if Robert Saleh has a chance for David Bailey. I don't care who it is. Jeremiah Love, if he's available, can transform an offense. Nobody can help a quarterback like a great running back. I saw what Earl Campbell did here. Bum Phillips traded up in 78, took him first overall. He transformed him into a playoff team 3 years in a row, AFC Championship game 2 years in a row, led the league in rushing all 3 seasons. And before they fired Bum Phillips, and I saw what Arian Foster did here from UT and undrafted, and then they put him in the lineup at the end of the season, and then his first start the next year, they beat Peyton Manning and the Colts for the first time, and he became the greatest running back in history, and they became a perennial playoff team. So you can't beat a back who can run, catch, and block, and Love can do it all.
Amen to that, John. John McClain's on the Chase and Big Joe show. That was my question. We had Jeff Fisher on at 12:30, John, and we asked him about taking Eddie George in 1996 when he still had Marvin Harrison on the board, Eric Moulds on the board. He said, we thought the best compliment for Steve would be a great running back. And there you have it. And that's the thing here, John. Love had the great combine, and everything you just said, we're all aboard the Love train now. We all want him to come here because what he could do. And look, you got 2 good pieces there, and you spend good in free agency. You're exactly right, John. And you were there when they took Eddie George. Were you shocked they took Eddie in 96 at 14?
Well, first of all, Jeff's a defensive coordinator. Defensive coordinators are always going to run the ball. So he wanted him. Robert Saleh, defensive coordinator. He's always going to run the ball. 49ers always had a running game. And I thought Saleh got shortchanged when he got fired by the Jets, but the fact he got to go back to the 49ers has helped him get a second job. Now, I had Eddie George in my mock drafts because of I knew how bad Jeff wanted him, and I knew Floyd wanted him. And I'll never forget, and I still talk to this guy, Chris Myers of Fox. Back then, he worked for ESPN. And each year, the reporters would be signed 2 or 3 teams they were supposed to keep up with. And Chris called me, and I said, I think they're taking Eddie George, and they don't buy into this. He's gotten fat on the banquet circuit. They don't buy into he's got a shoulder injury that's probably going to require surgery. He is perfectly fit for what they want. If it was an offensive coach as the head coach, it might be different. So I was certain about it based on the way Floyd and Jeff had spoken off the record. Well, it comes down, the first rounds go up. I see Dave Pearson, their longtime PR guy who's been with Seahawks for years, said he'd never seen me jump up so fast, so quick, and start complaining about somebody like I did Floyd Reese, because I'd blown my pick. I had told ESPN wrong because Chris Myers saying, well, my sources are telling me it's going to be Eddie George. And then thank goodness he was still there. And Saints coach Jim Mora said the biggest mistake he ever made was taking, I think, cornerback Alex Molden one spot before Eddie based on Eddie's career. So it was one of the best moves that Floyd Reese made as a general manager, Jeff Fisher's head coach, because the 1-2 combo with him and Steve just worked out perfectly.
Yeah, you think they could strike that lightning again with a Cam Ward, Jeremiah Love? I mean, Love at the Combine, John, he's all the talk. I mean, he was all the talk, how good he was. He put the tape on at Notre Dame. I just think this would be a good combination here in Nashville.
Absolutely, it would, and he's a better receiver than Eddie. Earl Campbell couldn't catch a cold, but that wasn't what he did. He was a runner, a power runner. And so Love can run, he can catch, he can block. He's everything you want. And I'm wondering, the Jets aren't going to take him. Raiders aren't going to take him. And the Cardinals could use him. If I'm them, I'm worried about the Cardinals taking Jeremiah Love. And I don't know that I wouldn't offer them a pick to swap places so I could get Love. Now, if they don't do that and the Cardinals get Love, they'll probably screw it up because they're the Cardinals. And they still need a quarterback. Now, they're not going to take a quarterback there, of course. But if they get Love and they don't have a quarterback, they're going to use him up before they get a quarterback and become competitive again. And I remember Steven Jackson of the Rams. They just ran him ragged every year, and they were incompetent. And here comes Kurt Warner. And by then, they're thinking, man, we should have put him in, suspended hibernation or whatever, and then thaw him out later. And the Cardinals are very well could be in that situation. Anybody that wants Love is going to be talking to the Cardinals for that pick.
Oh, absolutely. John, real quick, Ian Rappaport reporting breaking news. The Colts have put the transition tag on Daniel Jones. My question, what the hell is a transition tag?
You don't see it. You get the average of the top 10 instead of the top 5, and you get a chance to match it. And he's injured. I can't see anybody paying him a lot of money so they can, because you don't know about the injury and when he's going to play. There's a lot of speculation about that, and I think it's pretty smart because I think it's like $40 million instead of 50 or something. It's definitely a lot less than the franchise tag. And if he comes back and he plays well, they'll redo it and pay him like they did in Tampa with my mind's gone blank. Baker Mayfield.
He is John McClain from Houston. We'll have more with him coming up next here on Chasing Big Joe on this Tuesday, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Tuesday. John McClain with us on the program, and he joins usually every Monday at 2 o'clock. We had Preds covered yesterday. So, John, we'll be in the legal tampering period by the time we talk next week. And I asked Floyd one time about tampering, and all I got was a laugh. So that kind of told me all I needed to know about that. I mean, do you think this is obviously the illegal tampering still going on, but was this a good move years ago when they added legal tampering?
Well, first of all, nobody pays any attention to it. They've been cheating like crazy. What do you think they talked about? Every general manager in the league was cheating at the combine because you're talking to an agent. You're not supposed to be able to talk to an agent about a player on his team. Like if Joe played for Kansas City and that player, and you and Chase, you played for the Titans, and you're only supposed to, and Berganzi's only supposed to talk about you because your contract's up or he wants to sign you to an extension. Do you think Joe's not going to talk to him about the player that he's interested in? Of course they are.
Yeah.
And everybody does it. And if all of them were Pinocchio, their noses would grow so far nobody could get around. And so that's been going on. The term legal tampering is, I think, is an oxymoron. It's no such thing. But all these deals are done, and they're going to be, when Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero and all those guys, they're going to be tweeting. The agents will text them, and they will just basically not even rewrite, just post the text because the idea is to get it out there first. And I can't wait to see what the Titans are going to do because they have so much money to spend. And if you spend it unwisely, the franchise is going to be set back. But based on everything I've heard about Gonzi, he's not going to be spending stupid money.
Do you think we kind of talked about this earlier today. Do you think wide receiver is one of the more difficult positions to get right when it comes to free agency? Because, I mean, think about how many receivers just with the Titans alone that they've signed in free agency that are big names that hadn't worked.
Like Calvin Ridley.
Like Calvin Ridley is a prime example of one.
It's hard if you take, how many wide receivers put you in the playoffs? How many wide receivers put you in the Super Bowl? Like A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown is subject to so much controversy in Philadelphia. That's not what you want out of a wide receiver. You want a guy that's out there busting his butt on every play to win. And yet these guys, they pout and they whine publicly and they go on social media. They're not getting the ball enough. Then the quarterback feels pressure to get him the ball instead of playing the offense the way it's supposed to be played. And the running backs get their feelings hurt. I don't know that, to me, you've got to have a running back. You got to protect the quarterback. You can get receivers in the other round. If you look around the NFL, there's a lot of great receivers didn't come in the first round. You'd love, I'm sure the Titans would, Robert Saleh would kill to get a great pass rusher like Dave Bailey of Texas Tech. But boy, if you got a chance to get Jeremiah Love and Robert's defense is sitting over there getting oxygen and water and talking it up because they're spending so much time on the bench because the offense is driving the ball. That is also a head coach's best friend because the last thing you want is a 3 and out and then another 3 and out and another 3 and out. So you can get those other players if you know what you're doing. You can get free agents. And usually, you can't measure a heart. You can't measure guts because some guys show it, and then when they get paid the big bucks, something leaves them. And it just does, especially when they get the big signing bonus and get taken care of for life, even though Odell Beckham, we got the violins out for him because he talked about how hard it was 5 years and $100 million. But I think the best staffs, and you know who they are because they're always in the playoffs or they're Super Bowl contenders. You watch how they do it. They make the fewest mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody blows it on free agents. You got to be careful. You take a wide receiver who was impressive number 2 at another team. Well, it turns out because he's getting single coverage all the time, and the other guy's getting doubled. Then when he comes to your team, he's getting doubled, and he's not worth half of what you paid him.
Exactly on that. John, is there one player out there in free agency that the Texans could put them over the top and make them like a true Super Bowl contender?
Well, I certainly don't think it's David Montgomery. It's got to be somebody in the offensive line, but they're going to have 3 new starters. They're in trouble. So there's not any one in particular. Obviously, they don't like their offensive line based on what they're doing. And it was funny, Nick Caserio said at the Combine, I thought our line played better, but I must have been watching different tape. And now I'm thinking he was watching the same damn tape we were.
Going to be interesting for sure. John, appreciate the time as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Guys, thank you very much.
John McClain down in Houston joining us usually Mondays at 2:00, but had to move around with the game yesterday.
I bet you John back in the day could throw some hands. What do you think?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, man. Get a little fired up right there.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. Sometimes you got to bring the passion.
Love it, man.
Bring the passion. Get a little fired up.
I love it, man.
Tennessee Brew Works is the official craft beer of the football offseason coverage here on 102.5 The Game. So appreciate them. Always love doing our shows out at Tennessee Brew Works, and we look forward to being there again soon. It's Chasing Big Joe presented by the Omni here on 102.5 The Game. All right, NASCAR fans, Talladega Superspeedway, one of my favorite places, April 25th through the 27th. It is the Jack Links 500 weekend. Go check it out, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA to get your tickets. And be sure to add the Talladega Garage experience, because you got a garage bay viewing areas, pre-race ceremonies, driver and crew chief Q&A sessions, and you can go into Victory Lane and get a trophy photo and more. Just call 877-GO-TO-DEGA or visit TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
All right, welcome back here to the Chase and Big Joe Show, 102.5. The Game brought to you by the great Omni Nashville Hotel. Something happened pretty cool around the city for our high school baseball programs. It's the Mookie Betts Classic, named after the all-star outfielder infielder for the LA Dodgers. And the guy that organized this, put it together, is our good friend for the show. It's Kobe Ginsberg. He's the head baseball coach at Lawson High School. It started yesterday. It's ongoing all week. Kobe, how are you, buddy? Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me, Joe. Everything's great. Beautiful day out here in Bellevue, Tennessee. The wind's blowing, the sun's out. It's a great day for baseball.
How did the Mookie Betts Classic come to be?
I had a vision. This is year 4 of it this time around. I actually had started it in the early 2010-11 when I was at Hume Fogg, but it was just kind of an opportunity for for Metro teams to play some games. And then when we started it back up 4 years ago, we kind of reached out to Mookie, and it was right in his wheelhouse, being a Metro alum. So he, if you'd be willing to support us so that some of the less fortunate teams in Metros can play some games early on in the year, not have to worry about paying for umpires or anything like any kind of gate fee or anything like that. So Mookie's been really great for us, and kind of going from there.
Yeah, he's an Overton alumni. For those that don't remember, Mookie Betts grew up here in Nashville. So
who doesn't remember Mookie Betts?
Yeah, right. So when you started this, is because look, it's getting great reviews, and it really you shine the spotlight on these Metro Nashville baseball programs that otherwise nobody would talk about. Is it going as well as you thought it would go?
Yeah, I mean, it is and the kids are excited, and watching them come into the park yesterday, and the first opening day of the season, and the smiles on their face, and a renewed love for the game. Another season, another chance to play games, and that's the part I like. I wanted to give the opportunity to just provide them, so they don't have to worry about anything but just coming out and playing baseball. And now Metro baseball, to be completely honest, is dying. And like you said, the Williamson counties, the private schools, all those ones are getting all the love by everybody because, they produce all the college athletes and stuff, but there's still a lot of great athletes in Metro that aren't getting any attention and aren't getting a chance to play. And so this is kind of what we're kind of giving a chance to show it off.
You guys play today at 7:00. You take on East Nashville, correct?
Correct. We actually flipped it to 4:30 because our basketball team's in the regional finals tonight at 7, and so my players convinced me to move the game around so they can go to that one too. So they're all about Lawson.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fantastic then. And then I like the spotlight being shown on Metro. We've talked about this before. You really get, and this is not a slight on Metro athletics, but you don't get a lot of help from them, do you?
None. I mean, and like you said, it's not because of the district. It's such a big district and lots of schools, and there's 14 high schools, and if they were to actually fund all the athletic programs, it would probably virtually be impossible. And so, no athletic program in Metro gets any kind of financial support from the district. So anything that we do, we have to fundraise, we have to, sell signs, and you did our first pitch dinner last month, and golf tournaments, and anything we can do to kind of get money from the community so that we're able to stay afloat, because baseball is not cheap.
We're talking to Kobe Ginsberg, head baseball coach at Lawson High School. Again, Mookie donating, all this to help out. What all does it take care of that normally if he wouldn't do this, you probably wouldn't have the tournament?
It pays for all the umpires. 2 umpires for a game this year are about $200, and so you figure that for 3 games for each team, that's $600 for each team that they don't have to come up with. We don't have to charge a gate, because usually you charge a gate to cover your umpires, or try to cover your umpires if you have support, for fans that show up. And so we're able to just get them here, and they can just play baseball and not worry about anything else.
So it goes, it's all week, right? It started last night, it's tonight and tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, it's at Overton, and us are hosting the 2 sites, and then the top 4 teams that will come out of that will play semifinals on Thursday, and then Friday night at Lawson.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Hey, thanks for doing this. And I said it at the first pitch dinner. This opportunity to promote programs around Middleton is open to everyone, and you're one of the few who take advantage of this medium to spread the word, because it's about the kids. It's not about you. Yeah. It's about the kids. So I always appreciate you doing this.
I always appreciate you showing us the love that you do, Joe. You're amazing.
I am amazing. All right, Kobe, thank you, brother. I have the hat. Right. I have the Lawson hat on now, so best of luck, and bring home the trophy, my man.
Who are you rooting for tonight?
You, as always. Right, Lawson
I
High
appreciate
School.
you.
Yeah, you got it, buddy. All right,
I
Kobe,
appreciate
thank you,
it.
brother. Kobe Ginsburg, organizer for the Mookie Betts Classic, taking part this week. And, I'm a Metro High School proud graduate, so anytime we can shine a light on anything Metro athletics in Nashville is I'm all about it, because he's right. A lot of the love gets, and I understand it, gets shown elsewhere around Middle Tennessee, but still a lot of good kids playing baseball out there that need a love and a little respect and a little just publicity for them that's going on right now.
Yeah, and speaking of baseball, Team USA leading the San Francisco Giants 2-1 in the bottom of the second in an exhibition game before the World Baseball Classic gets underway. Paul Skeens on the bump for USA right now. So
Paul Skeens, is he going to stay with the Pirates, or are they going to ship him off like everybody else?
I mean, I would think they'll stay on brand and he'll end up in pinstripes or red or something.
Why even have if you're not going to compete, why even have a team?
I don't know. Well, it's going to be, I think they're probably one of the teams that wants to see a salary cap. So if that ends up happening, then who knows?
Yeah, because right now Pittsburgh has all the chips in their saddle, I guess the best way to put it, because he's under contract for 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
So like they're going to wait it out, and if there is a salary cap, they can retain him in some fashion.
Yeah,
so they'll trade him out like everybody else and get 5 prospects and then be in the same 3 years from now. I mean, in the early 90s, the Pirates were, with Bonds and Van Slyke and Bonilla, there's a great, heck, that was a good, they won 3 straight, I think, National League East titles, and the iconic game when Sid Bream scores. That was versus the Pirates.
But I think to Nick's point, if they get a salary cap, you're going to see a different baseball, but I think in a good way. I think you're going to see parity like you saw in the NFL when they went to a salary cap. And I think we can all agree the NFL product in that sense, is pretty good. So why not get it in baseball? Why not get it in baseball?
Right. And I think we've talked about this. I think next year could be a very tumultuous year for baseball because they got a bargain and all that, and the owners and the players don't get along. And so what they do, they just go on. Would that be called a strike, or what would you call that?
Yeah, probably.
Is that a strike? There's different
It'll either be a strike or a lockout.
Or lockout.
Something like that.
That's gonna happen.
I don't know. It needs to happen though. It should have happened a long time ago.
Players aren't going to like that, man.
No, they don't like it. But when you got, the problem is I know the players don't care about this because they're getting theirs, but it's like when it's only the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Cubs, the Red Sox, who else, Nick? Do you put the Padres in there?
You can put the Mets in there a little bit.
Yeah, the Mets. It's a good one. That they have the deep pockets. It's just not. It's not a good look. It's tough on the game.
Yeah, you also have to factor in too, like guys like Bryce Harper, Manny Machado. They were kind of advocating that the Dodgers are doing the right thing by just signing all these players because they have the money and they have a good farm system. Because those guys don't want to see a salary cap due to the fact of if they do have a salary cap, a lot of that percentage of the money they're going to get is going to go away to either the team and or their agent. And their agent is probably like, yeah, I don't want to see a salary cap either. Like Scott Boras was on yesterday with Pat McAfee talking about he would rather see a salary cap floor, like a floor for just salary in general and no cap, which is interesting. Obviously, so favoring in the favor of an agency. So
and I do wonder if that's going to end up being the compromise that they put in a floor and not a cap, which is a start, but that doesn't fix everything.
Absolutely,
they need a salary cap.
Yeah,
I get it. If I was one of those players, I'd be against it too. But
yeah, the Dodgers got 10 contracts worth more than $100 million. It's just there's a reason they're good.
Yeah, if you buy it, then okay.
Oh no, they earned it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. We miss you, Freddie. That's all I'll say. Joe, let's give something away. You always like when I do this. We have a pair of tickets to Pro Wrestling Symphony, Undeniable, this Sunday at Eastside Bowl. Caller number 3 at 615-737-1025. You'll win a pair of tickets to Pro Wrestling Symphony, Undeniable, this Sunday at Eastside Bowl. Coming up next, we'll tell you what day it is in celebrity birthdays. Chasing Big Joe, 1025, the game. Chase the Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Tuesday, putting a bow on things as we get ready for whatever comes this week. The trade deadline on Friday with the NHL and the Predators and all that good stuff. But Joe, before we get to what day is it and celebrity birthdays, I did just get this from our friend Anthony at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. The Cars Tour is coming to the Nashville Fairgrounds on April the 11th, which is pro late model tour event, which is really popular. It's owned by Dale Earnhardt Jr., Kevin Harvick, Justin Marks. Tootsie's is going to be the sponsor of this race. And also on the entry list, Dale Earnhardt Jr. will race at the fairgrounds in the number 8 Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet.
That's very cool.
So Junior comes back to the fairgrounds, which will be really, really cool.
Maybe we get a chance to sit down and yap with him.
We're already working on it. Don't worry.
Oh, we're getting about to see him.
We're hopefully we'll have him on the show. That would be a lot of fun for sure. With that, let's get to what day is it and celebrity birthdays.
Okay, first on the list, we have Canadian Bacon Day. So there's that.
Joe loves Canadian bacon.
Oh, I love Canadian bacon. We take the Canadian part out of it.
And Canadian tuxedos.
Oh, you're a big Canadian tuxedo guy, Joe. Didn't know this about you.
What the hell's that?
Mr. Fashion Trends.
Yeah, it's all denim.
Look it up.
Okay.
You got it. I'm proud of you, Joe.
Thanks, pal.
I Want to Be Happy Day is today.
Yes.
Isn't everybody? 33 Flavors Day. It's a day to celebrate ice cream and try different flavors of cream in a roundabout way. National Anthem Day is today, celebrating the Stars and Stripes of America.
Vegas.
There you go. National Soup It Forward Day. Interesting. So if you have soup, I guess pay it forward or hand it forward. National Mulled Wine Day. Let's see. National Moscow Mule Day.
I love those.
National Cold Cuts Day. Delicious.
Get your cold cuts.
Sure. McLean was having a little bit of that. National Sportsmanship Day is today. Peace Corps Day. Peach Blossom Day. Talking Third Person Day. Happens often.
Chase likes that.
TB 303 Appreciation Day is today. And to wrap it up with 3 more, Unique Names Day. What if cats and dogs had opposite thumbs day? Interesting. And World Wildlife Day. So there you go.
I mean, when you're reading, if cats and dogs have opposite thumb day, you're just, I mean, that's bottom of the barrel, right? Is that where we are?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Time for celebrity birthdays. Get these within 2. It's a new week. New opportunity to be the leader in celebrity birthdays. Dr. Crane, you will go first today, okay?
All right.
How old is former Denver Bronco All-Pro Randy Gradishar?
61.
65.
74. Chaser, how old is Herschel Walker? He's the ambassador to somewhere like Bahamas.
Yeah.
Or Curacao or somewhere. That's a job I'd take. Ambassador to Curacao.
67.
68.
64. Dr. Crane, one of the greatest athletes of all time, Jackie Joyner Kersey.
72.
68.
64. Chaser, Jason Tatum from the NBA.
34.
28.
28 exactly.
Man.
Dr.
Well
Crane. Julie Bowen. She was in the TV show Modern Problems. Dr. Crane.
58.
68.
56. Your delay is, make sure you're not looking stuff up.
No, I'm looking at Paul Skeens right now. I got a little sidetracked. Sorry.
Okay. That's somebody I wouldn't be looking at. Anyway, Chaser, how old is Jessica Biel? Justin Timberlake. I guess they're still married. I don't know.
36.
42.
44. Dr. Crane's up 4-0. Dr. Crane, singer Camila Cabello. You know what I'm talking about.
32.
28.
29. Chaser on the board. 4-1. All right, speed round. Here we go. Chaser, how old is singer Jennifer Warnes? Because she said with you, she had the time of her life.
64.
60.
79. Dr. Crane, actor director Tim Kazurinsky from Police Academy and Saturday Night Live.
67.
75.
76. He's coming back. It's 4-2. Chaser, how old is actress Miranda Richardson?
58.
52.
68. Dr. Crane, how old is drummer Duncan Phillips from Newsboys?
60.
48.
62, exactly. Up 5-2. Chaser, how old is rapper actor Tone Loc?
60.
63.
60 exactly. It's now 5-4. Dr. Crane, you better get this or I'm going to pull your Father Ryan card. How old is singer Brett Warren of the Warren Brothers?
Mr. Brett. That's Brad's brother. I know Mr. Brett. All right, Mr. Brett. Hopefully I get this right. Y'all are very similar in age. I'm going to go 50. 50. He's, I think, the older one. I'm going to go 55.
54.
Oh, good news. Dr. Crane keeps his Father Ryan card. He's 55.
There we go.
Nice.
You're welcome, Mr. Brett.
7-4. Chaser, how old is Bud Bundy, actor David Faustino from Married with Children?
50.
52.
52 exactly. Dr. Crane's up
Jeez.
9-4. Dr. Crane, gospel singer Jason Crabb.
60.
54.
49. And Chaser, the last birthday, how old is rapper Lil Flip? Lil Flip.
48.
Lil Flip. I'm going to go 34.
He's 45. But Dr. Crane, you won 9-4, pal.
That was
crazy.
good.
Proud of you, man. Start the week good, buddy.
Well done. That is going to do it for us here today.
Hey, as we leave every show, we were off yesterday, but listen to our guys out there. You're doing great, man. You're doing wonderful. We tell you all the time, go to therapy. UnityCares.com is where it is. If you're unsure, just go there. Listen, we need you here. I will tell you all the time that our world is a better place because you are here. You're doing fantastic, right? No matter some days are harder than others, but you're still here. Look all that's gone through in your life, and you're still here because you're amazing and you're powerful. Know how much that we love you, and more importantly, more than anything else in this world, I want you to know how much God loves you.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll. DVD coming your way next, and I'll have pregame for you between the Preds and the Blue Jackets coming up at 5 here on 102.5 The Game.